Hey guys, welcome to Filmlab. I'm the Red Black Woman.
And I am Steven.
So today on the Filmlab, we'll be reviewing an interesting action adventure courtesy of DC, my favorite. Right?
Really?
Yes, I'm a huge DC fan.
Same DC fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge DC fan. So it's a 2 hours, 24 minutes movie and it's called The Flash.
The Flash.
Really, if you haven't watched this, it doesn't matter. It's spoilers anyway, but go ahead, watch it. It might form or will form your opinion on The Flash.
We'll be right back.
Oh. You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm
Well, we're Barry.
Welcome back, guys. This is still the Film Lab and we'll still review The Flash, an action adventure courtesy, like I said, DC. And we have different pointers for today's review of The Flash. But before we proceed, out of 10, I would ask Steven what he would rate The Flash.
So for me, rating the movie, I would give it a solid 6 over 10. So there were some good things about the movie, like you will stay up, you would not fall asleep. It's action, it's adventure. There's a lot of good things about the movie. But there's some bad things about the movie as well. And I guess by the time we give our major talking points from The Flash, you will discover the good and the bad. But for me, solid 6 over 10.
For me, with every storyline, I love the goal, I love the moral lesson, which really stood out for me and which can be applied to even real life situations. So I would give it a good 8 over 10. Well, not good, but like just an 8 over 10. So we'll go straight into the points.
8 over 10 is 8 over 10, bro. Like,
No, there are
good,
different levels
okay,
to 8 over 10.
Then the ratings are supposed to be done with the numbers. You can't then pick a number and then say there's good,
This is mine.
okay,
Yes,
8.
there's good.
Is
there's
it
good,
a 6
There's
then?
good,
Is
8
it
over
7?
10. There's average, 8 over 10. There's
Good 8 over 10
excellent,
sounds like 7
8
over 10 to me.
No.
An excellent 8 over 10 sounds like 9
A good 8
over
over
10.
10 is like, let my people go 7 over 10.
Then just say
You know
7
what I
over
mean?
10, bro.
But it's not a 7 over 10.
Okay, fair enough.
An
Crack on.
F9 or an E is not a D. I'll talk about the VFX. Across the board, right, for a movie that's 2 hours, 24 minutes, VFX is actually a very complicated thing to achieve.
But people have been getting it for the longest time.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's not a stroll in the park. It's really not a stroll in the park. It's quite dicey. It's quite complicated. So a lot of people have spoken about, the hospital part at the beginning. Yeah, I'm not saying the VFX was complete 100%, but I'll give the VFX a good 80%. Now, why do I give the VFX a good
8 over 10. Whoa.
80%? Woo! Yes.
We are giving VFX a high number here.
Yes, we are. Let me tell you why. The part that stood out for me the most is the fact that he met himself. I was so particular about that. And honestly, the VFX was crisp. The VFX was highly commendable. Very, very commendable.
But for his younger self.
For his younger self, yes. The disparity between himself and then his younger self, and then how the everything just gelled. It looked so natural. It was very impressive.
For me,
It didn't feel too fake.
It didn't look well rendered to me. I think there's
Why
there's
didn't
some,
it look too?
there's some layers of
well?
rendering that could have been done, especially that part when they were going through time. The people there looked like game characters. I can understand why, because obviously this is not real life in this moment. You're traveling through
Yes.
time, so the people can maybe look a bit artificial. But Interstellar did this. A bunch of people have gone through time in some kind of space-time
But not to
continuum.
flash kind of time.
And it did not look.
time. Come
The
on.
Nicolas Cage thing looked weird, man. And there was some other. Okay, then.
Come on.
The Batman fight sequences were nice. I have to be honest.
The Supergirl
Supergirl's fight sequences were good. Where this movie struggled was the going back in time scenes and those transitions. It was just the going back in time transitions overall. I think those are the only places where the VFX for me crumbled. But overall, 5 out of 10. But see, for me, to be honest, Flash is not a bad movie. Another thing that kind of, it was a good thing, but at the same time turned out to be a bad thing, was the introduction of Batman and Supergirl. Now, Batman was played by Michael Keaton, and the other two Batmans that we know, Ben Affleck,
Yes.
and at the very end, there's a cameo from George Clooney. Sorry if that's a spoiler for you guys, but yeah, there is a pretty cool cameo from George Clooney. I mean, it gave me Spider-Man Far From Home
You know the Flash
vibes.
ended on a cliffhanger, but go on.
Did it? Yeah, because he kind of, yes, technically. But this is the thing, this is that whole universe is coming to an end, but we're never going to get into that now. The focus, I think, is the introduction of Michael Keaton and Supergirl. Now, Michael Keaton is the classic Batman from the Tim Burton era, from the 90s, right? And we get all of that iconography, and then you get Supergirl as well, played by Sasha Calle. Now, the thing with Supergirl is she's awesome in this movie, quite frankly. Michael Keaton is awesome. Ben Affleck is pretty good as well. But it's the same thing that we complained about with Black Adam. You give us good characters, they carried the story on their back, and then you murder them in their first movie. Bro, you could have at least let them bleed into Aquaman. The entire world is gone, wiped out. Like, give us something, to cling to. But I mean, at the same time, I still think it was good because it kind of wrapped everything up nicely. Flash learns his lesson. We don't have to renew Michael Keaton's contract. Everybody goes home nice and happy. So for me, it's a pro because both of them were brilliant in this movie. Sasha Calle, Michael Keaton especially. And yeah, at the same time, it's a con because they got taken out.
So yeah, go on, the next
Yeah, I
point.
think that works. I would say overall, it's not worth like not seeing the film. I feel like there's still more to come from DC, and it's a thing where, yes, this whole Zack Snyder universe is coming to an end, but I mean, I feel like they're still putting in good entries. This was decent. Shazam wasn't bad either, but this was a pretty good movie. I wouldn't say it was a waste of 2 hours. So we'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll talk about one last thing from The Flash. We'll be right back.
Is the world where my mom lives. I'm not gonna lose her again. Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets.
Welcome back, guys. This is still Filmlab, and I'm still the Red Black Woman.
Steven.
And we're still reviewing literally The Flash. We spoke about a couple of things like the VFX. We also spoke about how DC was able to bring back the classics. If you've been watching Batman for a hot minute, you'll be familiar with the different versions of Batman.
Yeah. The final talking point for us is the introduction of DC's kind of multiverse, right? So now, if you look at what Marvel have been doing for like the past couple of movies, culminated in the Doctor Strange movies, is they've been playing around with universes, and then now they've started playing around with multiverses, which is different, which is now just not just universes across space, but universes across time. So we're now dealing with no longer just someone's from another world of alien planets and stuff like that. We're now going from just other spacely elements or other spacely civilizations to other space-time civilizations
and circumstances.
Yes, so and that will now mean like multiple versions of the same person, things of that nature. Now with Marvel, right, we have an understanding of how theirs occurs. If you go back in time, you break off a new timeline, right?
Yeah.
That is what everybody understands. But with DC, they kind of switched it up a bit. So you don't break off a new timeline.
Yeah.
You break off a new timeline quite all right, but then there's also a new past. So it's almost like there's a branch, but it's not just a branch from that timeline.
Yeah.
There's also like a past, a new past for that new timeline. So it kind of makes more sense, but it's a bit more technical, and there's a lot more implications for time. So it's not that same Back to the Future narrative where you can change that one little thing about your life and then run back and then everything just adjusts itself again. No, this is like, if you change one thing in the past, you've changed the past for that timeline.
I would recommend that, because this Flash, like I said earlier on, is so inclusive from the older generation to kids. DC didn't make it as dark
As the other movies.
As the
This is
other
like closer to
movies.
Shazam territory.
Yeah, exactly. The point is to have a great experience in the cinema. Let us be kind to each other.
Cinema etiquette, guys.
By
if
embracing
you go with your family, please
cinema
remember.
etiquette. If you go with your friends, you don't have to make comments. You don't have to talk for 2 hours, mate. And encourage your children also. You know, everybody, just cinema etiquette so that you can have a great cinematic
No heckling the
experience.
screen, no heckling the movie.
Yeah, no taking of pictures, no taking of videos with your phone. Very, very important. No chit-chatting.
This message is sponsored
Very,
and brought to you by Filmlab.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
Cinema etiquette.
Cinema etiquette.
Thank you very much.
Please.
So I think that has been our review of The Flash. It has been a fun time here. My name still remains Steven.
And my name still remains The Rare Black Woman. Our social media handles are literally showing on your screen right now. Be part of the discussion and let us know your thoughts based on The Flash. And
Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Jibe TV Online.
And if you have movies you would love us to review, do not forget to let us know also.
Yeah, talk to us on social media. Tell us movies you want us to talk about, movies you want us to review, upcoming movies you want us to review, past movies you want us to review. Let us know.
Let us know. This is still Film Lab. See you on the next movie review.
Bye.